Very good morning. Dear students, I am Dr. Rajni CV, Assistant Professor, Department of English, GFGC, Banavara. In the session, in this session, we are going to have a brief introduction of few authors who had written in English before India's independence. In Indian writing in English, you have been learning the people who had written in English, but English is not their native or mother tongue. These people are these writers, the authors, had used English language to express their emotions. We knew English is an offshoot. English language is an offshoot of colonial encounter. As Britishers entered into India, they had brought English language into India, and many other historical events helped English language to flourish in India. And these writers, the authors, had selected English language to express their opinions, emotions, and their ideologies. In, in this session of introducing authors from pre-independence era, in previous three sessions you have been introduced with many writers who started writing in English, who had translated into English, and who had presented their opinions and their philosophy and their um, some other views and opinions in English. You have been listening to these lectures which based on the writers, the authors who had written in English in pre-independence era. In this session 2, you are going to have a glimpse of writers who had written in English in India. The first author in this session was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. We all know, we are very familiar with the personality of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. We all know him as the chairman of drafting committee of Constitution of India. We, we know, we are familiar with Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the first law minister of India, and we knew that he was the key personality who fought against the upliftment of untouchables in India, who spoke about discrimination of people in the name of caste and religion. He was the one who fought against uh, many other discriminations, who spoke about status of women in India, who wanted to uplift status of women in India. He was the one who spoke about Buddhism, uh, or practicing Buddhism in India. And we knew him as the social reformer, as Indian jurist, economist, and a personality who stood very strong to uplift the condition of untouchables in India. In this session, we are going to have a small glimpse, a very brief glimpse of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the writer. We knew that he was born in Mahar caste in Maharashtra. He was the 14th child of Ramji Sakpal and Bhima Bai. He experienced various kind of discrimination in his childhood because he belonged to an untouchable community, untouchable caste. Throughout his schooling, throughout his boyhood, he had experienced bad treatment given to untouchables by upper caste people in Indian society. So he wanted to eradicate, he wanted to uh, clean up this kind of bad treatment, ill treatment in Indian society. He had written many books. He had uh, written essays. His aim, his goal while writing is to propagate his ideologies, propagate his thoughts to people. You just look at the title of the books and the essays B.R. Ambedkar had written. For example, Castes in India, their mechanism, genesis and development, and 11 other essays. Riddles in Hinduism, the annihilation of caste. You can see here that these books and essays are putting forward or foregrounding his idea of caste and the discrimination of people in the name of caste and all. So he had used very formal language, and he had used very uh, direct and straightforward style in order to express his opinions. And his writings have been published by Education Department of Maharashtra in different volumes. We can find them. Ambedkar had written all these books in order to express his opinion, in order to tell his ideologies, in order to foreground his rational arguments about caste and reforms in India. Let's move on to another personality who had written in English in pre-independent era. That was Rabindranath Tagore. He was a poet, dramatist, novelist, short story writer, composer, painter, thinker, and educationist, and so on. You can see here Rabindranath Tagore had got a very lengthy lifespan, and he was able to show his many facets of his character, or many facets of his personality. Yes, he was a poet. He had written poems, wonderful poems. For example, Songs of Offerings, Gitanjali, which was written in 1910, and he got Nobel Prize for this very book, Songs of Offering, in 1913. He was the first Indian writer who had got this prize till date. ಇಲ್ಲಿನವರೆಗೂ ನೊಬೆಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಪಡ್ಕೊಂಡಂತಹ ಭಾರತೀಯ ರವೀಂದ್ರನಾಥ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗೋರ್ ಒಬ್ರೆ. He was born into Bengali Brahmin family in Calcutta, Bengal Presidency, British India, into a rich and cultured family. His father Debendranath Tagore and mother Sharada Devi. And he had written wonderful dramas. He had written very beautiful essays and very beautiful novels. The child was his first independent, or he had directly written in English. This was the poem directly written in English, because most of his writings were written in Bengali language first, and later writer himself translated into English. Those writings were translated into English later on. So Tagore uses bilingualism, in the sense he has written his works in Bengali first, and later the same writings, the same works have been translated into English by author himself. For example, we can see he has written a collection of poems like The Golden Boat, Wreath of Songs, and books like The Gardener, The Crescent Moon, and so on, and dramas The Post Office, and my favorite Red Oleander. It was my favorite, so I had mentioned name of this drama or play here, Red Oleander. And novels, yes, he had written a number of novels, but I have taken one, my favorite, Choker Bali, and another, yes, this also my one of the favorite books, Home and the World. He had written very number of poems and n number of novels, dramas, essays. As we knew that uh, Rabindranath Tagore has got fortune of living a lengthy life, and he has used that lengthy life in order to flourish our Indian English literature and also Bengali literature. His contribution towards Bengali literature and his contribution towards Indian writing in English is wonderful. It's a very uh, prestigious, we can say. He has contributed wonderful fiction, wonderful poems to Indian writing in English. Let's move on to another person who flourished English language in India, who used English language to express her opinions. Yes, this was Sarojini Naidu, a very influential and prominent women writer in pre-independence era. Sarojini Naidu was born as Sarojini Chattopadhyay into a Bengali family who resided in Hyderabad. Her father Aghorena Chattopadhyay and mother Varada Sundari. Her father was a Bengali educationist settled in the former princely state of Hyderabad. She started writing poetry at an early age. She got married to Govindarajulu Naidu, so her name changed into Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini's lyric art has been strongly influenced by British Romanticism and Urdu poetic modes. Her first volume of poetry, The Golden Threshold, was followed by The Bird of Time and The Broken Wing. I just rushed through the biography or a simple introduction of Sarojini Naidu. We knew Sarojini Naidu was called as Nightingale of India. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರೋಜಿನಿ ನಾಯ್ಡುನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು? ಭಾರತದ ಕೋಗಿಲೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ವುಮನ್ ರೈಟರ್ who wrote in English. ಈಗ in this session of introducing authors from pre-independence era, the first one I introduced Toru Dutt. Toru Dutt was the first woman writer who started writing in English in India, and the second one was Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu, another very prominent women writers in English in India. And apart from being a poet, apart from being a prominent women poet, she was a political personality. She took part in Indian freedom struggle. She took part in Indian politics, and in her lifetime she became the governor of Uttar Pradesh. So we can see her different facets. Toru Dutt was only a poet. She had written poems, whereas Sarojini Naidu tried her hand in politics. She tried her hand as a woman politician in India. She emerged as a woman politician in India, and she took part in freedom struggle and some other movements too. And yes, She started writing poetry at an early age. She started writing in her early age, and she studied at London and Cambridge. And when we look at her poetic talent, this talent was developed under the influence of the Rhymers Club. This was the club in London. This was the club which influenced her to write poems. And Arthur Symons and Edmund Goose, who encouraged her to write, who encouraged her to express her emotions in poems, in poetry. And uh, when she took part in politics, when she took part in Indian struggle, Indian freedom struggle and all, she stopped writing for a while, but she had published n number of poems. She published 3 volumes of poetry in her lifetime. And M.K. Nayak, in his book, expresses his opinion about Sarojini's lyric are poems that her poetry has been strongly influenced by British Romanticism. This was the opinion, this was the view given in M.K. Nayak's book by the writer, that her poem strongly influenced both by British Romanticism and Urdu poetic modes. Um, if we read her poems, we can see, we can get the essence of Hyderabad. We can see her experiences as a child, experiences as women in Hyderabad. We can see this in her writings. Let's move on to another personalities, other authors in some other sessions. Thank you.